you seek help and you try to be a decent individual, that you can be delivered. You know what I'm saying? If you read the word and you soak up the word and you continue to strive to be, you can be delivered from that, because we all have it. We
Well,
all face something in life. Somebody could talk to you crazy on your job as a waiter, docking Chaka, and you like, man, this motherfucker don't know I slapped the fuck out of him. Bitch, you won't have no pearly whites, you sorry motherfucker. Keep talking to me like that. You know what I'm
but no,
saying?
hey, but listen, Doc, listen. I mean, I say Doc, uh, my boy. Say, bro, when because I've been, through. I went to grew up in Baptist church. I, also, teenage years studying Islam. I, got much older and into my no, almost in my 30s before I really realized that, like, my best understanding of God came from metaphysics, or
Science.
the esoteric understanding of the Bible, because those both kind of came at me at the same time, and that's what made me real, like, it is science, and us really, if the more we understand it, the more we can really
We lost you. What is it? They say we all fall short of His grace, you know, and we're all God and the devil at the same time, you know.
I
Um,
just think people need to understand that they feel like if there's a God, then why do people struggle? Then why do little kids continue to be mutilated? Innocent children continue to be mutilated and harmed, and why do the innocent die and face horrific things in their life? And but we have to understand that He is the God of everything. You can't say He's the God of this. God is only of positive vibes. No, He is the God of everything. He's the author. He creates it all.
because
But
that's what they say.
if you believe in Him, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if you believe that His grace is sufficient enough to carry you through and to get you and to weather you through this storm, then you will understand that He has given you the grace to endure.
And He's
You
giving
know
you
what
the
I'm
choice.
saying?
He's giving you the choice to choose.
And that's what bothers me so much. Is like, come on, man. We're going based off of what man has taught us, but study for thyself. That's why I love what you say in your opening of this podcast. We want you to be an activist. Don't believe us. Look that shit up. Read for thyself, you know,
You know,
affirm for thyself, understand for thyself. It's there. You know what I'm saying? We may not understand what we're reading, but we can pray. Say, man, we can pray and we can ask for understanding, and God will bless you and put you in circumstances where you're around somebody that you don't even know. You're talking about, hey man, can I get a cigarette or can I get a lighter? And this person say, here's a lighter. Do you know Jesus? And speak to you in the realm of which you need to understand what you have been trying to figure out. It's happened.
yeah,
The
but
city of Houston is a great city. You know what I'm saying? Like
you
sometimes,
can
and
get
I
that
know
information from a guy who don't say anything about Jesus. Also, you know,
I
I
understand that,
I don't
but
like it
people,
when they say God is good all the time, or the other one they like to say, "Won't He do it?" Like, they just found somebody's wallet or something, and they
that's
use that
not
money to,
God.
and they be like,
That's
"Won't He
not
do
God.
it?"
That's a test.
Or
That's a test.
they got the
Because
job, and they be like, "Won't He do it?" You know?
that's a test. If you find a man's wallet and it's got you're behind on rent, and you find a man or a woman's purse or wallet, that has the exact amount that your rent is in there, and you say I can't, and you say won't he do it, and you pay your rent, where's your blessing in that? Because that's not a blessing. That is not a blessing. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's King ENT and Doc in here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that a blessing, or is that a test for you to do the right thing because you're gonna get more? Hey, you may merely get evicted, and you had the money within your grasp by finding this wallet. But is that a blessing for you to take their money and pay your rent?
And I think it's just about doing the right thing, because if you just think about that other person and what they're going through, their ID, their social security card or whatever is in there, whatever, like, are you going to return that stuff? Like, it doesn't have any value to you, you know? I think, like I say, I think it's more about just doing the right thing. Like, thinking about others in a way like, this could be me, this could happen to me. So what happens when you lose your wallet, somebody stole it or whatever? Are you going to say, won't he do it with that? Are you going to say God is good all the time with that? You know,
Exactly.
it, it's
Exactly.
it's 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 about what you as a human would like for yourself. What, like, one of the ones that I like a lot is when they say the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. That's a great one right there. So, like, if you would you want someone to return your wallet to you,
Bro.
or
Exactly.
would you would you expect, because you already look at people like they're evil or they're the enemy, would you expect them to just take it and use it for
I see
whatever
the good.
way?
I see the good in everybody, man. And I
Well,
would want somebody to return it to me, and I'm not just saying this shit. I would want somebody to return it to me, man, because at the end of the day, I can sit here and I can honestly say I was a
well,
thief. I stole from people, and I probably hurt that person more than they were hurting, because I felt like my situation was greater than theirs, and I took. And at this my age now, 36, being a father of two, I I talk and I teach my kids about integrity and never to steal. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what you going through. You don't take from somebody else for your benefit. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I was that person and I regret it. And I've had some things in my life, things that was near and dear to me that I worked hard for, that people have stole from me. And you know what? Even though I wanted to be angry, I couldn't, because I realized that was my just because you change don't mean that your transgressions don't come back tenfold on you.
Yeah.
And
So
well,
people
look,
have to understand
do
those
you
things.
what
win?
about the universal laws?
No,
Do you
Because
win in the long run when you steal
no, you
that
don't.
wallet? You
You
know.
don't. You don't. You lose because it's gonna come back. It's gonna just what like Brother
karma,
Pat was just saying. Universe. Hey man, people say karma. I believe that's the universal laws. I believe that's the universe working as it should. When they say you do unto others as you would have done unto you, say man, you got to think about that, because it goes in rotation. It may take 20 years for it to happen to you.
it might take another lifetime
I
for
was about
some.
to say that. I was about to say
But
that
it
your children may
but it's
have to pay
it's
for it.
gonna come back. I was that person, and it's like, say, man, like I realized that, man, and it's like that's why I talk to people. I don't become angry. Like if I'm in a position to give something to somebody and they say, "Hey, I'm gonna pay it back," or I've had things say, man, my wife and I've had things taken out of my house as far as TVs, DVD players from family members. And I want to be mad, but then I think about it, say, bro, don't you remember when you were 8, nine
Well,
years old? Don't
yeah,
you
but
remember when you was
no,
in the sixth
but
grade when you took
but
this and you
Deuce,
took that? You got to think about that shit, bro. It
hey,
come back.
but no, but listen, Deuce, like listen, because see, the universal laws, especially when we're talking about the laws of attraction, like it's more likely, like you might have relived some of that stuff, even at the age of 8 when you did this or that, you got a whooping or whatever. But the energies that you have around you, you're more likely to draw that type of energy into what your field, your your magnetic field at that time, because you're letting off good energy or bad energy. If you're letting off a lot of bad energy, that's more of what you're gonna see in your life at that time. Because of, but you can change that based on how you're responding to things. So I mean, a lot of that stuff, because karma, a lot of times, I mean, over they said you're gonna pay for that one way or another. So does it mean that it's going to be exactly that one thing? No, something else might happen that is misunderstood, and you might take it for being something, for being bad, that it might actually be considered by the universe a good, something to bring you back to a good point. So
Mhm.
just trying to pinpoint something you did 20 years ago and this happening to you now doesn't necessarily add up and match up to it. But I would say, in order to keep good energy or to receive good energy, you have to continue to give off good energy.
Yeah, because
I feel you.
it's a give and take. It's back to science. What does it say? Every action has a equal and opposite reaction. If I'm saying this right, and I think that's what we're talking about. So uh, that's where I'm going with this about the blasphemy and about religion. Deuce keeps going back to religion, and I'm saying that religion is not what we need necessarily. It can be good for people. Don't get me
For
wrong.
those who do need it, yes, let them have it.
Yeah, it can be good for people, but the name of the show is blasphemy because pe- a lot of the stuff we say on this show, a lot of people would consider as blasphemous. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it could just be facts. But to them, it's blasphemous, and it causes them to, stay in their box. It's a comfort zone. It's a place.
Hmm.
It's a place where they can feel comfortable,
Oh,
and
yes,
then they
explain.
can have excuses for their behavior,
And
you know.
superior,
Or, yeah,
and like
I
you
go
said,
back to religion because I want to support. I want people that believe. If that's what you believe, I want you to believe that. That's your realm. That's your way of thinking. But I've reached a point in my life where I truly don't care what humans think of me. You know, and I don't, because at the end of the day, we're all trying to make it. We're all trying to survive. You can't judge me. You can pass judgment all you want, but if you truly understand the word in which you believe in, then judge not, touch not my anointed one. So whatever your belief is, whatever my belief is, they may seem subjectly different, but in my mind they come back to the same thing. And I feel like people can't judge any of us on this show, or you, but I know people do, and I understand what you're saying, Chaka. Like, I'm not taking that away from what you're saying, but
We
people
all
have
have to
to
live our
understand.
truths.
Yes, exactly, that's what I was trying to get.
and we're
We
gonna
all have.
all and we all gonna pay for whatever truths that we decide to live by.
yeah, we're gonna all get to the afterlife, look around, and go, "Oh man, we were so wrong."
Yeah, and you know what?
That's that's where I'm at on this.
And we'll
How
make
could
another agreement to come and try to do it again.
I, I how can we be when you're within your religion and you're so sure, you're so confident, you feel like how do we get to that point? The universe is endless as far as we know. We also know that our perspectives with our just two eyes and our five senses that we can only
It's
perceive.
limited.
It's super limited. So how can we be so sure that we're right about this or that? You know, that's where I have a problem because I'm not sure about anything. You know what I mean? Something could happen, like, you know what they're talking about, Project Bluebeam, you know, and then we had all of this stuff with the UFO sightings recently, um, where it's like they're verifying this stuff, and then it's like, what does it do to people's religion if it was proven that they were aliens, you know, from another planet or whatever, another solar
For some
system
of
or
us,
whatever?
nothing. For some of us, nothing.
It wouldn't have any impact on my view of the world because I'm following a spiritual path. So it's not
Yeah.
gonna. It's. I'm just gonna take that
Well,
information in and move on. You know what I'm
yeah, because
saying?
I mean, some of us are going to look at aliens as being just another creature, one of God's creatures that has, you know, been able to find it to our realm, or throughout the what you call it, what you call it, when the different, ah, with all of the rotation and the
I was trying to get Fred on one
man,
side
what
and
the
Roy.
damn.
The precession of the equinox. I don't know what you're talking about. Um, I I feel like the religion is gonna leave you in a box. People gonna start jumping off the roof because they're gonna be like, well, all this stuff in the Bible that I've been following is obviously not right. If these beings are from another planet come here and all of this, you know what I mean? It's gonna shatter whole their whole view on the world. You know, their whole understanding of the world. You
I don't
know,
know.
Y'all hear me?
The Incas and Aztecs and the Egyptians seem to be able to roll with it. The Mesopotamians, the Babylonians. I mean, of course, they
and
thought that the sky people were actually gods.
yeah, and what would the people, the modern religion, say about those people? They would call them pagans.
And
They
here's one thing that's noting. You mentioned UFOs. Something to point out as one of the side facts that I know. Anytime there's big conflicts in the world, big wars, stuff like that, the frequency of UFO objects increases dramatically. The sightings.
and I think there's something to that, definitely.
These people ain't got it right yet. I think
Well,
because we don't control our minds, our spirits. I think because we are so chaotic in our brains and stuff like that, that they are stopping us from coming out. They don't want our scattered, crazy, warlike brains out in a peaceful galaxy.
Because the idea that we're the only intelligent beings is
Arrogance.
it's really insanity. So, but beyond that, on the science side, being that we haven't discovered any other, like, I don't know, beings that are like us as far as able to move away from the planet, you know what I mean? We don't know any other beings that can do some of the
can
stuff
y'all
that we
hear me?
can do. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that idea is scary as hell because you can only come to a couple of conclusions, like, you know, we are the only ones. If we are the only ones,
That
then
would be more scary to me.
that is scary as hell because that means that, you know, we
This vast universe or multiverses, and we're
there,
the only living
You know, it,
intelligence.
there's
it is
a
in full reality, too, that the universe is so freaking big and life is an extremely rare component of it that we could flourish, go to the stars, burn out our entire race, and still just never have come across another one because they're so far away.
but
We
there's
And,
a
know
and
there's
that's
something out
but
there
that
because the radio signals.
But see, that's a part of the answer that I was trying to get to a minute ago about how these phenomena seem to happen certain periods in in different periods of existence of life is because of the way that the Earth spins within the universe, and it's just the what is it the equinox? What you call it? The
Precession of the equinox.
yeah,
There's a
but just because of where we are now, we're closer to some other planet that it's easier for these beings that happen to obviously has better technology than we do to be able to get to us, and we can't get to it. So
well, there's a
You know,
paradox with it. It's
in medieval days, there was a conjunction of the spheres belief that the